Hello, my beautiful people. Happy new month. Wow, we made it to the final month of the year. This year has been a lot of, a lot of, ups and downs, but we thank God that we survived all the ula balu. How you doing, my people? How you doing? Yeah, it's a raining one. Yeah, in the city of Belfast, and I'm doing fine. I hope your week is, going on smooth. To the mothers, to the business owners, to the lovers, to the beautiful family, and the single brothers and sisters, to the oldies, to the grandma and grannies, to my pop, to all the, daddies and the mommies, everybody. The major show that I can say, I. It's your favorite podcast again, the street and cathedral. So today's topic is gonna be the victims of Nigeria. I've got Ogini Bernard already, and Jekami Adetiloye is gonna join. So Ogini Bernard, yeah, today's topic is gonna be interesting one, and my guests are going to be, you know, diverging deep into the topic. I want to say a big shout out to everybody that's been joining up. To you, Kenny. Kenny is always, maximum respect to you, Kenny. And Kenny, big shout out to you and congratulations to you on your new feat and going to, is it House of Common or House of Lords? Amen. I'm so proud that you joined this program. I'm so proud. Kenny, you always be my brother, trust me. Ogini Bernard.
How you did?
The
Wetin dey happen now?
international brothers of wait be that your bands. Anytime I see that your band, I go just first tear laughs. Say, God, wait till they worry, Bernard. How you doing, my brother?
I do. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you.
All right.
All right. So we just be big shout out to you, Ken. Big shout out, maximum respect to you. I want to say thank you to all my friends that have joined so far. Like I said, I do not have the right and autonomy to say that I am big enough to say I don't have my hands or claws around anybody. It's just mutual respect, and people that our paths have crossed along the line, I respect them. There are still more people coming on board. Like there is Pani Wipes. She has given me consent. There are a lot of ladies, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a topic and the best time. So that's what I know every week, and we do that so that we can achieve the best quality topic per the person's wealth of experience and all. So that's it. You're welcome on board, Ogini Bernard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because Jekami, right? Can you see that, Bernard? Can
Yeah?
you see what this my boss wrote? He said it's a sensitive and powerful topic today. I'm here to learn. Man, it's a very you know the funny thing, Kenny, I intentionally called my two friends that are still in Nigeria, and it was purposeful. The ones that I know that they are really pushing hard and are presently in Nigeria. It's one thing that we are victim, but victim in the diaspora. Victims in Nigeria will say, should be your own better now. Should be your own don't stop now. Those so we have to learn about the battle from those people at the war front. You understand? So that's the reason why I call these my two intelligence brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start, and as you know, this is your favorite podcast. This podcast is the voice of the common people. When I say common people, I mean intellectual people that will bring ourselves on board. It's serving a lot of purpose. One of the things that I'm proud of about this podcast is that younger people could watch it and learn, and they could be engaged and they could also make further research and say that okay, what this person said, what Kenny said, what Ogini Bernard said, I just want to make a research and all. Then it's like we are now channeling their energy towards the positive use of the social media, and at the same time we are bringing reality to their face. We are bringing reality to their to their everyday life. I think the use of social media right now has been to sell some sort of perception, and one way or the other we've been caught in that web that we need to be in our best attire, right? We need to be at the best location.
We need to be at the best form, and those are the things we need to project. Then reality is just far-fetched. So Jekami, you're welcome on board. Thanks for joining. Without wasting much of our time, let me just do the introduction,
Yes.
and I will do it based on punctuality if you don't mind. Ogini Bernard, my brother. Ogini Bernard is a playwright, and not just an ordinary playwright. In Pidgin, you know, when I met Ogini Bernard, this is the guy that translated William Shakespeare's work to Pidgin. And if you see the production on stage, it's just so crazy. I met him at the University of Ibadan. He was a member of the theater department, and also he's a master's holder. His papers has flied across Nigeria and across the globe. He has works that has been shared by professors in Japan, across the globe. His work is vastly recognized. And Ogini Bernard is not just a seasoned writer, he's also an actor. I remember Bernard, and this is me now making a confession. We went for an audition called O Obedeki that was written by the late Professor Solomon Ugwari, right? To his blessed memory. So when we were making that audition, I was also auditioning for the. If I had known that this is Bernard, I would just have stayed at home. You know, Bernard floored all of us for the lead role. Do you understand? You know, you could imagine when someone is just taking your lead role and you that are competing with him, just said that no, it'd be like saying that this guy could take this lead role. He's that good. He's a performer. He's a stage, you know, actor and all. And because Jekami said something on Facebook. After I introduced Jekami, I would now say some very things that I want to say about those three icons that I listed on Facebook. But Ogini Bernard also know Uncle Rockwell. But that being said, Bernard is someone's energy that is just up the roof. You know, he's a thread artist. I have seen Bernard. Bernard has even performed what is called monologue, right? Monologue. I've seen international people stand in front of him and he perform single act monologue. Is that good? You know, I don't. People think I like to just sweet tongue and praise people, but it's not like that. You know, I'm saying the truth, but it's just like those people are not. They don't like to be praised that much. So that's what's just happening. But Bernard is that good, and maximum respect to Bernard in the field of arts and creativity. Bernard is one of my creative friends that I respect so much, and yeah. I tap some of his energy. We've collaborated, and in some ways, he has also influenced some of my thought process and everything. So, Ogini Bernard, you're welcome officially to Street and Cathedral.
Thank you very much for this honor. I don't know which I could talk again because you don't even you don't even put me on top proof like this. I swear, but still, I did very happy on top this show because when you send me the topic about this show, I say this is not the touching topic because they bite everybody, whether I like it or not. I mean, those with the diaspora set, they bite them, but still, we must still talk our mind.
Yeah.
We must still say everything we need to say because we get mouth, and if you not see suffering in silence is not it. It won't work for us. It won't work for us. I know that one day everything will be better.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. And that's the reason why when I said I devised this topic, I thought about my two brilliant brothers that I know that they are in Nigeria presently. They're actually facing the heat of everything so that we can talk, because it's one thing to speak from diaspora and you've lost touch of what is actually happening. It's another thing for people who are actually feeling the heat day by day. I can tell you the progress of however things have gone. So yeah, thank you for that. This is my brother too, Mr. Jekami Adetiloye. I met Jekami during university days. Jekami has actually attacked me first. He has given me first punch. He has given me first attack, unexpected attack on Facebook by writing love letter for me. And I appreciate that so much.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I appreciate that so much, but I refuse to blush in Jesus' name. So at the same time, Jekami is someone that I love so much and I respect, and not because you see, I train myself to look beyond people's current whatever they display. I try to look people based on their strengths and their untapped potentials, because there are some people I have met along the journey of my life as well, that if they have looked at me through the contact lens of my weaknesses, I wouldn't have gotten to where I've gotten to. So I decided myself to train my eyes to actually be spotting people's potential. I think the first time I first came across Jekami, I just noticed an aura, a likable aura around this guy. And those are the things that you first need to understand about people who people are willing to follow. A likable aura. And aside from that, I started listening to you. I always listen to some of your arguments and conversations. You must say that when you have argument with Jafu and all those your all those your arguments with Eniola and all. And in my own mind, I'm also making a process. And there was a time I just felt like there's a little bit of me in this guy. I don't know where that just came from. I just feel like there's a little bit of me in this guy. I don't know him from I don't know his story. Then I started just, we engaged, and yeah, I wouldn't want to go into the details of the story so that we don't start blushing ourselves over and over again. But one amazing thing about Jekami, see, is one thing to actually want to push someone. It's another thing for someone to actually want to be pushed. Many a times you've met people where you feel that this potential guy, you can do more than this. I remember I met a lady, this lady even till now, I feel she has better potential than what she's exploring right now. And I will start to push her, start to send opportunities to her and all. Then all of a sudden, she just told me that she's not cut out for all these kind of things. So you can understand that it's not everybody you wish to push that actually wants to be pushed. Some people just feel like you're doing too much or you're trying to break me beyond my limits and all. So I give you back that credit because you also have something in you that makes you readily available to say that no, you want to beat all the odds against this life. And yeah, big shout out to you. Big shout out to what you've turned out to be. I'm so proud. I'm always proud to also be part of the story. It's an honor that I hold on to God. And yeah, Jekami is actually also a curator. He's a writer, fantastic one. He's a blogger. And yeah, more importantly, he's a loving husband who is not ashamed to pepper us. Let me just put it like this. He's always in the business of peppering us. Ben, I don't look away. But he's always, if you go and check Jekami status and you are single, Baba, just know that mute Jekami. That's my advice for you. Just mute Jekami because you are in for a long thinking. Now, why is my life like this? Me, so you say yes, so I think that's the wife, right? Yeah. So big shout out to
Yeah,
you.
that's all right.
Big
That's
shout
all
out to
right.
you, the royal queen. So yeah, so I love that about Jekami, and he's unapologetically. I think his life is artistry. When you meet Jekami is living his truth. He's funny to the core. He's open. He's an open book. He's lively. Jekami, the vex, the happy, and we share similitude in that aspect as well. If the para. If the happy. I know Sabi do all these your go all this your go film. Say I'm going to go back to the plot you, Baba. I don't para for you, be that. You understand? So big shout out to you, Jekami, and thank you for saying yes to coming on board with me. And this is where I now launch. Because of what you said, I just want to give a big shout out to 3 people. Then I will introduce the street and cathedral. 3 people. I was thinking about my book launch and my first book, The Gods of My Parents. The content of the book talks about the religion in Nigeria, how we need to unite, put away our religious sentiment and all. I didn't know. It was upon my meditation. I didn't strategically plan it all. I realized Dr. Benjamin Efa is a Muslim. Pastor Akinbade, yes, Christian. Sarok Bewela, well, he's indifferent about religion, and I think he's tilting towards more of traditional religion. So how could I have been connected with these 3 people I respect so much, I learned from, they are one of my biggest influence in life, and they could actually come to my book launch. So when I was meditating, I started saying, I've been living this street and cathedral. I've been living the life already. It's not something I just, it's just part of me. Dr. Benga Omiefa taught me simplicity to the core. Leonardo da Vinci says that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. That is the embodiment of Dr. Benga Omiefa. If you want to learn humility and simplicity, is easy. Sometimes you want to question why some people are making life so difficult. Dr. Omiefa is ready to support you, help you. I remember I went to Dr. Shoele to come. It was even Dr. Shoele had to send Dr. Omiefa as well. Part of big shout out to Dr. Shoele too on that. So, learning from such person, I understand that I have to, no matter how big I get in life, yeah, we want respect. I have to embrace simplicity and humility. And let me move to Uncle Rokwewela. You see that man, it will not be okay okay for me to be telling him he's one of my biggest icons, and I should not say this because he also would now attest to the fact that no, this guy is saying the truth. It will be Dr. Shegun Jegede that will link me with Sarok Wewela. I think it was conversation between me and Dr. Shegun Jegede. I just told him how posed I am about my life, my next step. I just said, I will introduce you to one of my friends. To be honest with you, I didn't know how big Sarok Wewela is. I didn't know. To be quite honest with you, I swear, I didn't know how big he was by then. Even when I met, I didn't know how big he was. This is someone that was, Jesus Christ. Nobody can tell me, say that anybody will be young about that man around me, I go take him up. I just serious though. That man, Bernard, you can testify to this. That man is simple to the core. Simple. I say, this man will leave me for an office, live in key, go. See, times we say this man said, don't, as some boy, way, Baba will just go tell you. This man came to my book launch. He sat all through to the end. I didn't know how big he was. So later on, when I started, I said, oh no, that big icon I did with now I can't readjust my, the way I couldn't readjust. I think he started noticing, but I'm not sure if he did, but I started, managing the relationship based on, I don't want any issue. But Sarok Wewela radicalized my mind when it comes to relating with icon. Look, if you're a good person, you're a good person. Forget all these puffiness and all. There was an artist I was a friend with. We were friends and all, blah, blah, blah. And one thing he's going to tell you is that I'm a very proud person, whatever. But it's not that I'm proud. I like to deal with you based on your humanity, not based on what people or what you project or based on what people take you for, your human side. And that is one thing people are hiding away from a lot of people. So I respect Sarok Wewela for that, for his simplicity. And I remember one thing that he did that happened right before me. He invited me that time I joined his platform, by the Playhouse. You know that, Ogini Bernard, also. He invited me for, I've forgotten this hall that is opposite Mobile, that along Mobile side. The opposite Mobile, like when you cross Mobile, there's one hall like that. I've forgotten the name. So he invited me for a stage play. In my mind, when I was coming, God bless you. God bless you. So when I got there, in my mind, I was like, oh, my ticket sold out, everything. I wore my Christmas attire that I want to go and watch my icon. Baba, when I got there, I won't lie to you. We were barely 4 in the crowd. But you know what Uncle Gokpo did? The show continued. They stayed that show. I laughed all through. But do you know what that radicalized in my mind? As I was seated amidst, empty chairs in the audience. And I was like, damn. So that actually motivated me. You see people, you see me writing my book, and people will say, have you made millions or whatever? I go back to like, no, this must be passion at peak. This must be energy. This must be someone that is ready to do everything for his gift, for his talent. And I said, okay, how far am I willing to go? If there is just one person that is clapping for me, just like Street and Cathedral right now, if it's just 2 people that is clapping for me or 5 people in my life, how does it matter? Will this show go on or not? So Sarok Wewela radicalized my mind when it comes to that aspect. So finally, let me talk about Pastor Folorunsho Akingbade. You see, I am of the opinion that I don't like people who talk too much. Show me. The best preaching I want to watch is how you deal with your wife, your attitude. Many of the problems that we go to church to go and pray, my enemy is fall down and die. Do you know that you are praying in your mind? It is even Christians that you have in mind that are your biggest trouble at your work. Christians are the ones that are also making life difficult for you. So I realized that Christianity, me and you being the same religion, doesn't mean that you're a good person or automatically. So I started observing Pastor Folorunsho Akingbade, very intelligent man, vastly, widely read, and this man is lettered. But one thing that would radicalize my mind, that God will use him for me, is there was a Sunday he brought one of his billionaire friends to church. Church mo ti rí mọ́tò kan mo but mi ò fẹ́ fira mi ṣẹ̀sìn pé kí n yọ fóònù kí wá. I should now take picture with that car. I enter. This man was there trying to aspire to inspire us and tell us that he made his own billions even in Ibadan with Naira. I was there. But this is me looking at my pastor. How come all these successful men, and I've had many testimonies from his mouth, from his wife, are comfortable around you? must be something about you that is, that is real, that makes, and there was a time you talked about Tony Cole. So I knew I had to engage him. So boom, something happened. I was to go to Egypt. I've packed my bags, and so I needed to go and talk to this man. I asked him one simple question. That question changed my life. I went to meet him in his office and I said, "Sir, please, I want to ask you one question." I said, "Please, how best is it for you to act amidst successful people, great people, rich people, people that are actually, that are doing well in life, and you are amidst them? How best are you? What can you do?" And he gave me the best thing that would change my life. He said, "Look, don't let me lie to you." He thought deeply before answering the question. I said, "Just be yourself, be real." He said they can actually pick signals immediately if you are unreal. It's just like you meet Dangote now, and the next year say, "Now Dangote, please, I would like to see you." Want to pick up, what you fuck up, you get. So these are things that we need to also. That I'm dropping all these lessons here free so that people can pick it. You don't go and meet successful people, or you are meet successful youth and all you are just thinking about is how to milk them, how to tap from them. And that has changed my life. Look at Kenny right now. We met in Egypt. Look at all the fantastic people I invited from the first edition of this podcast. We met in Egypt. So if God has not used Pastor Folorunsho Akingbade for me, I would not have displayed my real self. Look, your real self is that Jekami, you like me or not. Even though I'm a para, even though many people have different versions of my story. Ogini Bernard, you like me or not? You know my party or not? Even many people could get many different stories about me because I am real. There's one thing you guys can sense that, and I believe you guys too are very real, and that is the most important thing. So I apologize for my long story. I have to say that because there are lessons embedded in it.
It's necessary.
Thank you. So you guys are welcome to Shoot Akatija. There's no need to talk about Shoot Akatija because with everything I've just displayed now, it has talked about the theme of Shoot Akatija. So let's just move straight to the topic. So the topic today is the victims of Nigeria. I like to always give background of what led to a topic before we, so we know what made me to coin the topic. To be honest with you, be frank with you, I listen to intelligent people, and one of those people I listen to is Barrister Dele Farotimi. That man is very intelligent. So he kept on using the victims of Nigeria. He do say that he doesn't believe that he's a citizen of Nigeria, he's a victim of Nigeria. So in my own mind, I was like, wait, I understand where he's coming from, but I now have to question all these his age brackets, because we believe, our millennial, we believe that age brackets won't share and will not ban Nigeria. We never benefited from Nigeria. Some of them can say that they went to free government school when Nigeria was still good. There was free meal. People like this same Pastor Folorunsho Akingbade, this same Uncle Rocco, this same Barrister Dele Farotimi, this same Dr. Gbenga. They will talk about when Nigeria was still good, we are growing. We never explained when Nigeria was still good, though. Straight now, private school. When we go public school, our English we put army for English. Now why our English we know they pay where is that our tongue don't be twist again. But I don't collect the voice finally. So I start asking now, okay, what kind of victim is he talking about? Even though I'm trying to understand, but we from our own victim mood, we feel reply their own victim mood. So that's one. Two, I started questioning that, okay, if we now say the victims of Nigeria, from what perspective are we now talking? Because we know that being victim and playing the victim card will not serve anybody for so long. We need to go get out. Hey, today, how you doing? We need to get out of that bracket of inferiority complex and all. However it is, we need to discuss this topic. So my question, let us take it from the historical context, because we have all been we've been victim of colonialism spread across Africa now. So how do you think the legacy of colonialism, and let's chip in also the Biafra War, has continued to shape the victimhood of this political landscape of what we call Nigeria today, and how we found ourselves in this mess? So Bernard, you can jump in, and Jekami will take it from there.
All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity once again. Permit me to switch to the language.
Baba, na street today. Street Akatija.
No one
they can street.
So when I know say as I speak English
Yeah,
normally, I can speak
yeah.
English very well. Queen's English. Anyone when I want, if an American
Now why
English
we
or
the
English,
victim?
I'll tell you now.
You know hear my
Eh,
English. I dey army on
eh.
English now.
Okay, so you see, if we continue to talk about Nigerian problem from now, it's endless. Let it finish because problems dey, things don't scatter no small. You know, now colonialism now don't really shape our government because like, the British people, the mode of which they do, the template they just kind of put for table. Oh yeah, follow, 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 follow. That one there aside. Now Biafra self come doing him. You understand? Come mix everything. Then coup day, so many other things they will not to make sense and blah 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 blah. Now the template where these British people bring come, well, I may be wrong, but from which I don't see, now say they don't really know the amount of people with the country because this government thing at first probably it wasn't working, probably it was working. They just pack all of us put for one place, do this one, do that one. Oh yeah, make we begin to do everything as we take fitted one. Now that one aside, then let me now move to Biafra. Now Biafra war has really shaped Nigeria and it's still affecting Nigeria till today. The Igbos are very, very good people. Yes, let's be frank to ourselves. They are industrious, they are accommodating, they are nobody is perfect, no tribe is perfect. I'm from Edo State. If I begin to tell you how my village people they do, you talk say, Shana, these people China here you come from, then why are you different? You understand? No tribe is perfect. Yoruba get their own wala, Hausa get their own wala, Igbo get their own wala, Efi get their own wala, Nigeria get their own wala. You understand? Now, the Igbos now, you know, I think they've not yet recovered from that shock till today. They've not yet recovered from the Biafra issue till today, and that has affected them in government. Because right now, it's very difficult. You understand? It's very, very, very difficult to give Igbos power. Maybe because they fear, maybe because they fear, or maybe because we don't trust. We
Well,
don't trust ourselves.
before I take that as opening speech, I want to chip this in and I'll ask you a follow-up question. Because in my book,
Okay.
The Gods of My Parents, I raised some very sensitive arguments. I remember Dr. Segun Jegede telling me that if it had been military era, now I write that book, say, I for don't flee, go Togo, because then go they use gun, find me everywhere, you know. And thank God from this statement now that the first episode of Street and Cathedral, first episode I have was my Igbo friend. Me, I don't even plan them. And this guy, I always tell him whenever he tells me this, I said, guy, you listen to news that I don't know. I understand how he might be bothered. But to me, I do not see tribe. I don't know the way I grew up. See, I don't got me where clear my family people. Say, me, I just know say I go marry black person. I like black. I know I like black person. I don't care if the black come from Brazil or I better find somewhere way far from me. Jamaica or Haiti. I don't care. I care my mama. My mama go to talk. I say, Mom, see, all this way they talk. It's not valid in this generation anymore. Yeah, even this black white daughter is just my preference. Because you know, if you don't chow food reach some extent, you go know some food where you know trust. I mean, I don't chow some certain food. No, my question to you now about that Igbo thing we talk about. So the argument I raised in my book is that they pitch the sentiment of what happened, agree, Rossi, and whatever. And does that hold water at all in this era that we have? Because many tribes still don't fuck up. So why are Igbos being sidelined? And they are actually they are one of the biggest victims of Nigeria. Biggest victim
Yes,
of
yes.
Nigeria. And it's
They're one of
painful. It's
yes, it's
disgraceful,
painful.
you know.
Yes, it's painful. It's disgraceful. And there's a writer, Half of a Yellow Sun. I don't know. If you have watched the film or read the book,
By
you
Chimamanda
see that
Adichie.
Chimamanda. Yes, you see that. In fact, there was a time they banned that book, they banned the film, and later probably they removed the ban from the film, and they just I don't know what happened, but the issue of Agui Rossi and I think Adekunle Fajri, yes, if I'm correct, yes, Adekunle Fajri, it all happened here in Ibadan. It all happened here in Ibadan. Now, the reason why the Biafra is still affecting us is that we do not trust ourselves anymore. Like, everybody now is, I don't know, is against the Igbos. You can check that from the last election that just finished.
It's like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, it's very sad and
You can check
disgraceful.
that from the last election. You know, the OB thing and the Tinubu thing and everything. You can it's written. There's no need for explanation. We don't need to explain anything now. If they boldly written, say now come see something now. Okay, you can't be say na Senate president they can't they align to the Igbos.
Well,
Why?
Ogini Bernard, we go see para. Hold your para for now.
You
Make
understand?
I take him as a opening speech. we go take para away for this topic because this topic affects all
Okay.
our Sunday fam. Jekami Adetiloye, the same question, but I want to keep this in.
Yeah.
What lessons can we learn from this our Nigerian past? Because what we see right now is that there's a legacy already from this colonialism. But what lessons can we learn? You know, yeah.
Yeah. So, can you hear me
We can hear
clearly?
you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, I want to um, appreciate you for inviting me for the IG Live. It means a lot, knowing where we've all come from. And also, Mr. Ogini Bernard, it's nice meeting you. Already, I know that there are going to be collaborations between us going forward. So, I would like to start from the first question, the legacy of colonialism and Biafra. So, I think one of the number one legacy for me is presenting Nigeria as a country that does not document properly. So, and how will I say that? It was recently, and also the legacy of, portraying the wrong perspective. It was recently that I started to collect the Republic. So there's a publication in Nigeria, the Republic, and it's something that I advise every young Nigerian to get. It's very good, the Republic. And one day I was reading, there was this thing they were talking about Biafra. And it was in that book for the first time that I got to know. There was a time during Biafra when they said they stopped allowing food, medical aid, everything to go into Biafra Republic, like they called it then. Do you know who gave the military
They
aid that
said this
wisdom?
Awolowo.
Awolowo. For a very long time, I did not know. So now, I wish that, many people of my age have that kind of information. Then they will better understand that sometimes, not even sometimes, we are not perfect, because I know how they presented Awolowo to us. And now this is somebody that eventually went on to permit, the death of hundreds of children, mothers, men. It just happened. So the legacy of that Biafra war will be the fact that there is no proper documentation, there is no proper education. They found a way. I guess from what happened then,
Let me keep this in.
the government after that.
Let me because you are touching one aspect. Let me touch it. What do you think is the motive behind them taking history away from our school curriculum?
Wow.
I mean, if we don't know history, we don't know who we are. I think,
do they want us to be deliberately in the dark of who we are, of our past? Why? I want to know that why. From your perspective.
Of course. Yes, there's also that legacy of division. So if we know about history, Nigeria will be united. Because if I know that somebody who is supposed to be the hero from my tribe has done certain things that are also like very dreadful, then I can to an extent reason with another tribe and be like, oh, okay, my own too has done it, your own too has done it. Let's come together, let's unite.
We are all wrong and we are all right.
We are all wrong. But now, from childhood, they've been telling me that Ojukwu is a bad person. Ojukwu is a this one. The Igbo people, fear them, run away from them. That one, don't trust them. All of those things. So if we knew that history, we'll be better unified. But they don't want us to know it, and that is why it is even the issue they put in the curriculum. These things are not there. You have to find them yourself. Now, talking about colonialism is simple. The legacy of colonialism is corruption. It's corruption. I mean, the colonial masters, corruption, and also the intentional destruction of our education system.
Now, I know this will be your opening speech, but I want to chip this in. Colonialism now, if you look critically at the discourse around legality and justice, colonialism was legal at that time, but it wasn't justice in the right sense of what justice is. But anything legal will permit justice in the line of what has been stated. So how can we now say critically that the world is tilting towards the right, even though in this supposed woke generation, that everything legal is actually profiling justice to our humanity right now?
I had something recently, and the person said, when you see something that is wrong, it's not actually that thing is wrong, it's just that you don't like it. So somebody who stays in Britain will not tell you that colonialism does not have justice attached to it. They will tell you that it's legal and it's justice. So I feel one of the ways that we can actually correct this thing is when individually we go in search of the facts. We don't go in search of the fact. Everybody sees everything online. You know, they come today and they tell you Tinubu is a thief. He's a thief.
Economy is bad.
They come today and they tell you, they tell you today and they say the next best thing is to japa. Everybody wants to japa. Like, I mean, my own stepsister was telling me to go to Finland. If she listens to this idea, like, she will curse me. So, like, we want to do things without like finding the facts for ourselves. Even everything that is happening currently, why I can't vote Igbo, why I can't vote Hausa, is because of the things we have been told, not because of the facts that we have found ourselves.
Let me say something on.
Let
me just
comment on that. Let me just chip in a question for you, so you just use a stone to kill two birds. Now,
okay,
Bernard, given that over 40% of Nigerians live below poverty line right now, what do you think? I think it's now enormously large, not just 40% now, maybe 50%. What do you think is that sustainable way at which one could actually get out of to combat this massive poverty that is affecting all and sundry in the land?
all right, thank you very much. Now, from the previous question, I just want to chip in one or two things. From what Jekami said, I think he has a very valid point there, because the proverb says, or the colonial masters have this proverb against us, that if you want to hide something from a black man, you put it inside a book. We don't document, and we don't we don't really see we don't really document what has happened. Now, they brought a template to us and said this is how we should do it, and this is how we should do it. Now, they had some fault, and the fault is, okay, these people are very large people. Is it possible for us to just divide them? Is it possible for us to just jam them together like that? Do you understand? Like, let's just make we just not be the first country where they will colonize now. Now we be the first country for what we will colonize. They don't colonize other countries.
But now we be the first country where person girlfriend, now you name us.
You understand? And if you look at those countries where they colonize, when they bring their stuffs from their country, they accept them quite all right, and then throw them after some time, and they maintain and then take waiting day, as in waiting those people meet, they still take them up, they took it up, and they used it, but that doesn't mean they were not colonized. They didn't meet the what they call it, the people they colonized, or they didn't serve under them or something. But they still retained their culture, their tradition, their food, their everything.
Bernard, let me check this in now. Be honest. In this current time, who are the real victims of Nigeria? In this recent time, who are the real victims of Nigeria?
why they rebuilding.
Yeah, because Gen
This
Z they
now.
drag in at them. Millennial they drag. Those are our people we say we believe say they are age bracket and then spoil this country. Some people they talk say then they no get a spoiler, but most of your people spoiler. Some so who
They
are the
say
real victims of Nigeria?
they say if two elephants fight, the grass will suffer. Do you understand? But I feel that I think the Gen Zs are the one really suffering it now. Because if you look at during our father's time, I don't go like things were
Of
good. But
course.
actually things were good. But actually they will not agree that things were good. Because they will say during their own time, it was also tough. You understand? I remember my dad was telling me that he bought his car for 6,000 naira. He bought he bought two, one Peugeot 505 and 504.
Oh boy.
He gave one.
Be ball out.
He gave one to yes. Now he gave one to my mom. He
Uh-uh.
gave the 505 to my mom. He took the 504. You understand? I met the 504. I when I was born, I met the 504 for some time, and before he sold it, and But you understand now? During that time, I would say the economy was fine. Yes, but they will not agree. They can never. Our fathers can never agree that the economy was fine.
Because
You understand?
because Pelatu was singing and complaining about
Yeah.
social system. But if we weigh the evil back then, they had access to social amenities like free education and the standard of it. People wanted to. In fact, most of these people right now went to public
Take
schools.
for example now, UI here that I went to, I stumbled on a meal ticket, and people that went to UI, our forefathers that went to UI, that taught us in UI, they said that in the hostel, they will come and wash their clothes,
white blankets,
iron it,
white,
they will put it on their bed, well arranged with nylon. You understand? So
they know they wash their clothes.
in fact,
they know they wash their clothes.
For where they want to see that one.
Jekami, why they laugh? Say they don't wash your clothes for investing. Talk the truth. Make you no play victim here. Are you a victim?
Why do what they know what I pay for university, so I'm a victim. Yes,
Jekami,
I'm
are you a victim? Talk your own now. Are you a victim?
I used to be a victim, but now I'm not a victim. So I just want to quickly comment on what Mr. Bernard is saying. So you were asking a question about 40% are like facing poverty. What can we do and all of those things? The answer can just be drawn in one word from what Mr. Bernard is saying. Is the fact that we should be truthful to ourselves. Like, let's tell ourselves the truth. Yeah. So now, I know people who got scholarship. People before me, they got scholarship, they traveled out, they were balling. My mom was telling me that when you finish work, when you finish school, work is waiting for you. Even the Nigeria Airways that she was working at, it was almost seamless. Just go and study computer. It was not really anything serious. So the only way we can come out of poverty is we have to tell ourselves the truth. Like, I'm not saying tell you the truth. Like, myself, I tell myself the truth. And
what is the
when
truth
we say the truth we tell ourselves, for example, is now, when you say who are the real people suffering, is everybody, not Gen Z. Not Gen Z, not millennials, not the baby boomers, everybody. That is the truth of the matter. But everybody wants.
Who are the baby boomers?
Our parents, them.
Baby boomers. Yeah, I like our baby boomers. I like the name.
our parents, them. So we are not telling ourselves the truth, and that is the problem of the matter. Now, they don't want to accept the fact that when they were enjoying those things, they did not prepare the ground well for those that were coming after them. Now, millennials will not want to accept the fact of the matter that we are facing it. I think, if not for God, millennials are going to almost be like the baby boomers. We also don't tell ourselves the truth. Gen Zs they are better. They say it the way it is. So they will come out, blame everybody, mention name, but millennials, we like to shift. We don't want to say we are suffering until now, when everybody is saying, yeah, Nigeria no good, we don't enter skin. So Nigerians
are what we millennials do. We pretend we have this I better pass my mentality. And so if your situation is favorable,
Be
you actually
prepared,
want to play the card
exactly.
of my own better. I don't need to, So yeah, you have a valid point.
Let
Let
me
me
say
ask you
something.
this question.
Let me say something. Sorry,
Right,
let me say
right.
something. Concerning to what Jekami said, I feel that to me, I still feel that fine. Fela sang it, but Fela was fighting for the masses. You understand? Fela was fighting for people, and you understand. But at the same time, okay, my dad said something. My dad said something which I still hold very, very tight. He said during his time, when he was writing his final papers, you, you know when you are in a car park, like a car park where we say buses day, where they call passenger. He said during his time when he was writing his final papers, companies are already parked outside. You understand? Companies are already parked outside, scouting for fresh graduates. That was how my father got his present. My dad is a pharmacist. He was one of the first generations of pharmacists we have in Nigeria. You understand? So people were outside, and the companies were outside scouting for what they call it. As you are submitting your final paper, they are calling you. You are entering their van. They are telling you, okay, what did you study? Your grade, everything. Okay, okay? Would you like to work with us? These are our packages. Blah 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 blah. They'll check your result, check everything, and you are off. You are gone. Now, can that happen now?
If it happen now, but now just different location they go carry you go. Maybe they go kidnap
Eh,
you.
That's not
Those ones
happen
that
now.
they
So I
scout
feel
for
that.
work. God forgive me. I'm not joking
So I feel that I feel that the millennial, the oldies, the Gen I feel that they are great to all these things. You know, the way where you say eat me, not be the way where you go, not be the way you say eat you, not be the way you go say eat another person when they come after me. But fine, the general thing is we all had our own share
Let me
of everything.
ask both
But
of you. Let me ask both
I
of you
think
this question before we now move to human rights violations. Let me just ask both of you this question. Let's talk about education right now. Education in Nigeria is a sad tale. Now, and we like to pretend and see people like us, me, you, Bernard, and Jekami, we are the vast majority of youth. Nalayo, sure you know so we know be the vast majority of youth. We are part of the minority in Nigeria. Now, because we use social media, we think that now we be the majority. The majority people they streets, they use all those na phone. Those guys they do all these shoemaker, all these London tailor, they do condemn iron. You get which and they try to talk now. They traffic, they run after car, we won't buy gala, pure water. Those are the vast majority, fam. And these guys are littered in public schools, public secondary school, public and we can see what the education is right now. What do you think? Is that hope for education in Nigeria?
Education. Okay, can
Yes,
you
sir,
hear
we
me?
can hear you.
Yes, education in Nigeria. I'm not sure it has hope. I'm not sure it has hope because we see people who go to school struggling, and even now, everybody can attest to it. In Nigeria, it is not what you went to school to study that you're doing.
yeah.
I went to school to study English, or maybe it's related to what I do because I have to write, I have to address the media, I have to speak English in meetings, but I could have learned that on my own. So education in Nigeria does not have hope except for those who are going to private schools. When we talk about public schools, it's worse because back to history, another tool that the government is using to keep majority of Nigerians as victims is that free education thing.
Really?
It's free education.
Really? In
Yes,
developed
because
country,
now,
they still have access to free education, Jekami. Free education, no.
no, I'm talking
Okay.
about Nigeria. I'm talking about Nigeria because now you will say free education, people will come. You're not providing teachers with what they need. You're telling teachers that these students should not fail. So a student that is scoring 0 in exam that should remain in that class for as long as possible, you're telling the teacher, sharp, promote him. That one we graduate now, he will not get work, obviously, because now the ecosystem is very competitive. Even connection cannot work again in Nigeria now. In Nigeria
Really?
currently, you know somebody, I know somebody. It does, at least where
So
I am, it doesn't
what
work.
works?
Because even when you say connection, you must have it upstairs. So if you don't have it, even if they employ you, they'll just put you in one very low space because you cannot deliver. So education in Nigeria does not have any hope unless we can stop. I
I'm
don't know if
with
you
you.
can hear me. Can you
I'm
hear
with
me?
you.
Yes. Unless this government free education thing can stop, because they are using that to just enslave people more. I'm imagining that they can encourage people to go to vocational colleges. I work with galleries. We need installers. We need technicians. We need drivers. Like so many assistants that we need, but we don't have them. Everybody wants to go to school. Everybody wants to go to public school. And even in those schools, they are not teaching you how to become these things. So when you come out, it's already late. So what hope? What hope do we have? The ones who went to study education in school, they are not interested in becoming teachers because teachers are not paid well,
Okay.
and you have to survive.
Let me react quickly to comments of Miss Oyin so far. Any comment as well? So Miss Oyin said that she started with soft men creates hard times. That's the real scenario. Another issue was that Nigeria didn't control our population, and she said education has been politicized. And she said education is a tool, a weapon of mass destruction. Well, to me, I can argue that. Well, but that is also a very thoughtful, And she said employers too are part of the problem. She said they demand for AS, and people get that through crookedness. Okay. And Oba said education and religion has always been politicized. The real education in Nigeria is outside of the school. Yeah, real education is outside of the school, and it's quite sad that the education has been dogmatic. Is the one that's been in place since the colonial era. And it's crazy. The world has moved on. The world has evolved. The world is not
What
even
has
in
involved?
demand of some
What has
courses, many
involved?
courses in the university anymore. Look at what you're saying now. Why can't you just adopt all those artisan work into university and call it some kind of,
Painters,
you get kinds
plumbers,
of plumbing
engineers.
engineering? You get, are you with me? So call it some, yeah,
Yes,
call it
I'm
some
with you.
plumbing engineering. Call it whatever, just adjust, and let us evolve. And the world is facing it.
And like you said, in Nigeria, like we deceive ourselves. We deceive ourselves. We still do not want to accept the reality that public education does not work anymore. So many of these baby boomers, they are public education. I'm not talking about private now. Even some of the private schools, it does not even work in Nigeria anymore. If you want to do confirm private school now, you need confirm money. All this Ebele private school that they will give. So because many of these schools is teachers from public schools who go to establish them, and then they take in the same method, the same
Okay,
model.
let's
So
move.
yeah,
Let's move to human rights violation. There's no way we are going to talk about victim, and we are not going to talk about NSAS. You know that now. You should have been prepared for that when you are coming for this. So, we saw what happened, what played out in the NSAS. We saw the international community support and the local advocacy efforts as well. Hmm. We know that is actually a resultant of an accumulation of what has been happening. So now let us talk around those things. What are those things that has been the pressing human rights violations that needs immediate attention right now? That makes even youth, everybody vulnerable to being a victim in Nigeria. Ogini Bernard, please jump in right now.
Well, for me, I feel that, like you said earlier, that this NSAS thing has been something that has been piling up, and all of a sudden, just everything just go away. But what I would just say is still that, it's still that police brutality that has been giving us issue till today. Although fine, it has reduced, but still we are still having things like that. And that's one of the major things that we citizens, that we are victims of. In fact, that's where the real topic, is. I feel that is where the real topic came back, as in it fits
Of the
that topic,
victim.
victims of the Nigeria, because we all are victims. I've had encounter with them before. I and my friend were just walking just by the road, and they stopped us and they said we should enter their van, and they searched us. They didn't say anything, and they started questioning us and say, "What's in your pocket?" Blah 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 blah. You are arresting us. They took our phones. They said we should open our phones. We opened the phones. They were looking for what they don't even know what they are even looking for. So I feel all of us are victims of this, and I think the government has to step in when it comes to this. There should be a retreat. Make everybody go rest. Make we do police retreats. Make everybody just go back out. Let them just sit down and think. Let us do a retreat. Let us know this police, what are they doing? What are they really doing? Are they really policing us, or they are against us? Because if we do not know what they are really doing, then that victim, we go see turn to that victim. We go see they become that same victim
Let me
over
give you my
and
experience.
over and
Jekami,
over again.
before you jump in, let me give you my own share experience. There was a time when my friends and that was when I released my first book. Mad energy. I love my friends. Maximum support. And I'll mention their name. Big shout out to Perry Lion. Big shout out to Bami. Big shout out to who was in that cartoon. Ike, Dyke the rapper. Big shout out to you. So we were, I was taking all my books to libraries in Lagos. That's why we go island, go drop book. When they come back, now so these people just cross us, blah 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 blah. Before you know, they don't rampant some of them, or then beat some of my guys. In a nutshell, when I see composure of me, I start talk, okay, fine. You want to arrest us, but tell me the police station where they carry us go. Because me, I don't even vex. Now just to put calls through. Me, I know they do anything illegal. So you want trouble, make Nakoku they receive call from anywhere. Come, me when I come check my picture, see my picture with Pastor Tunde Bakari, see my picture with Oni Opipe, see my picture with the KBS where they work. See, they can't give me my phone back. I don't know what they whisper to themselves in front of them. Me, I tell them, say, I beg arrest us, and we don't even beg again. So just tell me this police station where they carry us go. Shikena. So me, I can't tell the Dyke, I can't tell that's my guys. So me, they no fight, me, they no struggle. They don't handcuff some of my guys, put for van. Me and this my guy, we did presidential lounge for back here. As soon as they just park, talk say, make we go. Very strange. When I release anchor from my guy's hand, spitting through that my guy, they can't wonder my guy. Say, you, if to say at night, now the statement we fear me pass, but I won't talk. If to say at night we catch you now, we go throw now for water. For Third Milan Bridge. So if to say at night we catch you now, without this your frapapa, we go throw now for water, nothing go happen. God damn it, bro. God damn it, bro. We park cars, search everywhere. Say no, say they don't draw bullets because it was strange to us. Say why they take release us like that? We know future. Say we search that car. We go to the with a wash car beside road because we don't want to move forward. We park with that. Maybe we search everything. Say we don't want. Maybe they come to go call one po a checkpoint for front. Say some people get bullets or car whatever.
And those ones they'll find something else.
And they will come. Kukuma arrest us for maybe armed robbery or possession of weapons. So, Jekami, now let's talk about these things now. It is over to you right now. What is the most pressing human violation that we need? It needs immediate attention because no doubt my influence, you'll be surprised that they are actually watching and following me. Me, when we say DSS, they find for Ogun State, they find me before I jackpot. I cause trouble, then they find me. So they are listening. And these are people that I feel that they also actually want the progress of the country. At least with the few times they followed me, they have noticed that this guy is actually an advocate of a positive movement in Nigeria. So he's not actually a very bad person. So let us talk about that. So what is that pressing thing right now? That human rights violation that is going on that actually needs immediate attention in your own view. And you can also share your own fair share of experience with it.
Yeah, so for me, it would be like the provision of basic amenities. The provision of basic amenities, like, and those are the things that have, pressured Nigerian youths to eventually do NSAS. we are like, even the roads are not good. There's no light. The basic things are not there. And then the security people are now still disturbing us up and down. So for me, personally, it's just, I feel like my government should be able to provide me the basic thing. Although in some certain states in Nigeria, they are enjoying these things though. I served in Taraba, and there was light
Really?
24/7. 24/7. Yes, I've had the same thing about Oshun. I've had the same thing, yes, Oshun and Taraba. Light 24/7. So I think it comes to a point where we also have to just, make it a microscopic thing. So instead of generalizing it, because that can also be dangerous. Like imagine the states who are doing their best, and then we come out and we just generalize the whole thing. So the government needs to provide, basic. We are talking about free education, for example. Let us know that this free education is genuine. You're not just using it as a tool, as a weapon to create more adbiru. Because at the end of the day, that is what it looks like. So if the basic amenities are not there, you're denying me my human rights as a citizen. You're denying me my human rights
Well,
as a citizen, and eventually these issues
let me
will
keep this
continue.
in. I want to also send this message to our amazing people out there that I know they are doing their job, but at the same time they need to also know that this era is an era of AI, an era of artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality. People are making money in diverse ways. So it's not the conventional way of you thinking, LAE, custom, LAE this, LAE loss office. Many people are making money through their laptop, fam, and they're making legit money. It is a global world now.
Through
It is
social
global
media.
economy now. It is global. There is e-money going on, electronic money. So, and not be everybody they do Yahoo. You know, many people, some people, social media ló tẹ̀ sọ, àwọn míì wà content creator, àwọn míì wà tó ń pé their kilometers per hour people, tech,
Digital marketers.
guys, man, these people are sitting with laptop 247, and these people have real money. No be say they are rich, and you can't say that they are Yahoo boys. So please, let us, tone down on these Yahoo. There are many ways to make money, and people are making legit money out of this.
I mean,
And
for me, it was the same thing. When I left school, I told my mom that I will not teach, I will not do anything. I want to be a writer. I just want to do my blog. 24/7. One day she forced me. So even before I married, like since I finished NYC, I've not done any 8 to 5 job. It has always been a remote job. Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. So my neighbors, everybody feel like,
Yahoo boy,
oh boy, Yahoo
Yahoo
boy,
boy,
ni jare. Tó bá ti dalẹ́ ló máa bọ́ta.
and And
Àkínrí lọ́sàn-án, àkínrí
another thing is
láàárọ̀.
this. I love big shout out to the celebrities. Big shout out Don Jazzy. Big shout out the band. Big shout out to all the celebrities that are investing in sport right now. God Almighty will bless you. Big shout out to you guys. Nigerian youths are very, very talented. There's energy. Do you know what this? Big shout out to this guy that is also doing chess from slum. We can bring many initiatives to these guys to engage them, to divert their attention from crime to something productive. My friend from China said they just build basketball courts in almost every area in China. Now, years from now, you go to say China they win basketball anyhow. When you say basketball court they almost every area. Imagine a purposeful government now building field. Say, okay, each area guys get football field.
Yeah, they're actually doing something like that in Lagos, but the problem is these things are very far from the people that will use it. So, like if for example you're living in Abeokuta, let's say Abeokuta is a street. If you want to have access to that kind of thing, you have to go to maybe Ibadan. Like I don't know who is helping them to plan this thing.
Look, all those ones. Because most of
Those things are not even maintained. Give them 6 months. You will not see them in proper shape.
We should look into these things because we are fighting for your children too. Yes, police, you are here, DSS, we are fighting for your children. Not everybody go travel out. We will travel out right now. I can tell you categorically, yeah, you're saying this guy is local and everything. I don't tell you, most people wait there here. Tell them something and call you when they work. When they did their work, make them call you. Hey. Now there you go, come the year. In Baba, I declare you. So let me just get that talk because most times we are also victims, in diaspora. We are not respected internationally. No matter what you read, for you to get a corporate job, bro, me where I don't get it, the radio station. Thank God saying that the radio station is black owned. You know what I mean? I don't push BBC with how many times masters hold out in journalism, fam. And this is my life and everything. And you can't put me in front of anybody, Barack Obama, anybody. I go ask him question. We go talk, we go yarn. But you can see the disadvantage that is going on. Clear. So it's not that we are at the paradise where God promised us. It's affecting us. We also here. We are treated as not even second class with disdain, fam. From second class is no matter Polish, Ukraine, you or Benny, they don't want you for some kind job. They don't expect you to come for some kind job, fam. And the few ones that want to prove their words, that okay, I deserve this job, boom, they are coming bad knock. Anyways, let's move towards the end. And so, before I just have 2 more questions, then we'll round up. Ogini Bernard, can you hear me? Bernard, are you with me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I want to ask you a question.
Sorry,
okay.
My network has just been fluctuating.
So, Bernard, it's a separate question for you, so we'll move fast. Bernard, this one is a separate question. I will ask Jekami a separate. Bernard, what is the role of corruption? You know, corruption. They say corruption affects, ordinary Nigerians. What is the role of corruption? That we don't hold leaders accountable. What is the role of corruption in making in this topic called the victims of Nigeria? What is the role of corruption?
The role of corruption has been to a very disadvantage to we the Nigerians and everything, because now we don't one of the things that we are lacking in Nigeria here is there are many. Number one, lack of maintenance. There's no good maintenance in all our facilities.
Example,
all our facilities.
Nigerian Airways. Nigerian Airways.
Nigerian Airways. Oh law. Now, all these things, if I start to mention things like this now, so many things that we don't, that there are no maintenance. Apart from that, the refineries, how can we have 4 refineries in Nigeria and we are still queuing for fuel in the petrol station, for crying out loud? It doesn't really make sense. Okay, you make this thing 1,100 or 1,000 to 1,005, we go see the queue. Okay, make this thing this Saturday, we go buy them. Not worry, we go buy it.
Bernard, to add joint to what you talk, the demand for petrol, you don't go down, because for year, if by 2030 they want every car to be electronic on their car.
That's what it. And let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one very quick thing before I forget. Let me tell you one thing before I forget. There's a guy, I stumbled on something on the internet, and that's IG. There's a guy that is making this, this mechanical generator, this big diesel generator. So this guy came with an idea of using solar to do something like that. Do you know that they're after that guy's life?
Imagine.
They're after that guy's life. Because that guy has come to destroy so many things in the government. Because people will no longer say they want to go and buy fuel anymore. Just buy a generator.
Tesla now. When Nikola Tesla came, he wanted to destroy the petroleum industry. Nikola Tesla came with his own now boom. So Elon Musk took after the Tesla, whatever. Ideology.
So what I'm saying, so what I'm saying now is this government people, they know what's up. They know how to cut off the problem.
Jekami, you see why you have to go for presidency very soon.
No, seriously, like, in fact, sometimes it scares me, because I'm like, even youths, are we ready?
You hear me?
Okay, I think Mr. Bernard is back.
Yeah, so the thing is, corruption, they want chop. So they all see, we are just playing ourselves in this country, and we need to tell ourselves the truth, and we need to be truthful to ourselves. The government has the solution to all our problems. If they won't give all of us 5K today, say everybody go shop 5K today, if possible. I dey tell you, it's possible. Because right now, what I will say, they get our BVN, they get everything. Imagine say, you day for your house like this, you collect debit alert, person they withdraw your money from your phone. It don't happen to me before now. You understand? It don't happen to me before where they come out over like 250,000 naira from my account. So who they run those things? Not be IT guys where they run.
Oh boy. Come on, you're 250 million. You're using Nigeria. I'm a double bunker.
Like about corruption, I just feel like corruption is deeper than what we can blame the government only for. Corruption. I was the SUG president. My administration, we had the issue of corruption. I don't know if the Jekami was aware of it. We had the issue of corruption. As the president, I approve money. Say, okay,
I'm with you now.
Can you hear me?
I'm enjoying the talk.
Okay, because me.
Okay, and we are moving to the end of the event.
Hello, can you?
I'm with you, Jekami.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. Jekami. Hello, Jekami. I'm with you.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to connect my Bluetooth.
Yeah, but I can hear you, Sean.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so
no, I can't hear you now.
hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
So now I wanted to change the mentality. So we won the election, everybody was happy, and then one of my cabinet members came and said, we need to do something different. Kinikon. And normally the tradition is that, as the president now, SCG thing, you are the one that will say, okay, your budget is 1 million, Abi, take 150,000. Go and do whatever you want to do. That used to be the tradition. That is what I used to hear. But I'm like, okay, guy, you want 1 million, Abi? It was not 1 million. It was. I'm just like giving a random this thing out. But yeah, take 1 million. No, take 1 million. The event flopped. I'm not sure in the history of SEDEP anybody has spent that much on that particular program. The event flopped. Is it the government we want to blame for that one? And then this guy now himself and the committee members that were with him, they planned the whole thing. It was so scary that they wanted to expel him, and I just had to come in and say, sir, please, he has learned his lesson and all of those things. So when we say corruption, everybody wants to point hand at the government. Individually, we know what we are doing. Everybody, we know what these petrol stations that we are talking about now, they have petrol. Those petrol stations belong to somebody's father. Those people, they look at their father's face and say, daddy, this thing that you are doing is not good. This petrol that you bought it in 2020. Because they have increased the price in 2024 now, you are now selling it for that price. Will anybody confront their parents? Nobody will do that. So it goes beyond government. It goes beyond government. Corruption is something that has to now start. It has to start from the grassroots, because in fact, citizens are more corrupted than government. I continue to tell my wife, I say, it is even okay for these people to be there. These people that we say they are more corrupt. Because if the ordinary man should get there, it will be, nothing will remain. So we have to go back to the grassroots to tackle the issue of corruption. Go back to as far back as.
He said, for Yabatek, SUG couple.
For Yabatek, SUG couple. Yes. Seriously. So, and now imagine somebody like me, if not because I'm just like, no, I have to continue to do things differently. If I end up to become the governor, Mister, I want to do like, let me eat my own, because I will give somebody
Make
money
I
now.
post
The
for you.
person will not do it
Make I
well.
post.
And they
Make I
will still
post for you.
blame me as the leader.
I was a leader before you came in. See, this thing I'm about to tell you right now, officially, legally, truthfully, I won landslide as the president. I don't know whether you had the gist.
I mean, it was obvious.
I
It was
won,
obvious.
but
Do you know that we are turning this into
yeah,
family conversation?
yeah. So
Do you know that? Do you know that it was when people saw what they did for you, what they did for you during your election? That was part of the reasons why many people came out for me.
yeah, I know, and
That was how
why
many people.
why I dropped and I felt like, okay, let me just be part of this and be the vice president. I was the president. See, look, one word has been driving me from childhood till now: power, and I'm going to get it. It's my destiny. It's what I'm reading. Look, it's everything about me. Power, and I'm going to get it. But you see, one thing struck me when I was in varsity. It is not even the fact that I was scared. I've never been scared to lead. I've always been leading from secondary school, everywhere I find myself. It has just been like that. Even when I didn't want to lead, people bring me see fellowship. I've just been like that. It has been my destiny. But this time around, I became president. But I realized the mentality of the environment I have. Everybody's sentiment was pitching tent to the way he dresses, the way he does that. And I'm like, look, let us focus on results. Can I get results? Yes. I'm result oriented. I don't give a damn about how I make you feel, what is about your ego. I am result oriented. Am I professional? Yes. Can I offend some people to achieve my result? Yes. Can I be trusted with money and integrity and speak my mind? Yes. But these are people who want in their mind, they want something to happen. It's like they're shaping their, and I felt like, okay, fine. I am going to spite all of you. This is me now beefing the entire school populace. That I want you to be in years after. I want you to be able I want you to be confident enough to say, oh, this was your own leader. Based on your sentiment, because how things turned out to be, I believe you would have preferred to say Dimeji Shodeke was your leader. But by then, I want you to research in your mind and say that no, I have to do away with this sentiment of what not. Because to me, I just know that I could lead effectively. So, Ogini Bernard, we're moving to the final part where we're having a conversation. Your own question is, and we'll just end it. I hope Jekami will join before we end this conversation. So, let's talk about the ethnic and religious tensions that are intertwined in the socio-economic issues in Nigeria. So, it's part of the victimhood right now. A lot of people have died based on religious affiliation. It's sad. It's very sad that we said it's part of our human right to choose. We have right to worship, but some people are now violating people's right and say no. I will kill you based on your choice of religion. So how can we foster understanding and cooperation among diverse groups in that aspect? And all this name calling of religion out there, how can we actually also call people's attention to stop in this we find ourselves in this kind of country? How can we call people's attention towards that end? Yeah. Bernard, you're on mute. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? So
Yeah.
first and foremost, religion and politics, they are two different games. They are two different things entirely. But unfortunately for us, we don't really put them together for politics. Do you understand? Now, all these things that has been happening, it has all this you are saying, it has happened in the country. Take for example the last election. I'll still refer to the last election that just happened. Now, the Muslim ticket, affected affected our politics. Now, what is the work of INEC? What are they doing? Now, when people are saying things like this, the INEC should step in and do something about it. It's either they should not allow the people to be sentimental about this, or they should just leave it, let it play on its own. But religion, I really I don't want to use the word swear, but I really say it's a very beautiful thing to have different religious sector come together and do stuffs. Where my museum is located right now, we don't come on Fridays because we have Muslim workers. My museum is situated in a Catholic environment. In a Catholic environment. Now we have workers that are Muslims. I'm not trying to preach my religion that my religion is better. But I'm not saying that Catholicism is accommodating, is liberal. You understand? It's liberal, it's accommodating. And down on our side. And another thing is we have done something on SEO Faja, an art exhibition that combines all the religion together. They come together to do to have an art exhibition, and things like this is what the government should support. Things like this is what we should. Things like this is what the government should support. Things like this is what we should really hammer on, and we should not put religion into politics. There are two different issues. Everybody will go into their house and worship who they want to worship. Come out, and we are together.
Well, there's one hypocritical move I don't like about Nigerians. Our baby boomers, they knew that this setting called Nigeria, we have three main religions, right? Christian, Muslim. Yeah. So, as such, in the society, you are meant to mix with this set of people. So the orientation is that we have to deal with people based on their humanity. Is someone a good?
Yeah.
Is someone a good person or a bad person? Do they tell the truth? Are they people of integrity? Are they not bullies? Are they not thieves? All those kind of things. But when you start chipping things like do not be equally yoked in some thoughts of the fact that you are not supposed to be mixed, you send us to school. You send us to school to mix with these people. You are creating a counterintuitive ideology within us, which is not right. That's one. Two, the funny thing is, when I went to Egypt, my perception changed. Before I went, I was a victim. I didn't know I was a victim of this this thing called religion. I had portrayed Egypt in my mind as an unsafe place, as a war zone, as a place where my life might not be safe and all. It was when I got there and I came back, I realized that wait, okay, fine. I looked for Pentecostal churches. Nigerians are very, very vast. We are everywhere. Could you believe that I couldn't find all these our regular churches in Egypt? It was just one. That's Love World. So I came back. I went back to listening to the preaching of the teacher of Love World. Yeah, I realized that okay, now I have friends that are Egyptians. I'm going to call some to this my life very soon. How do you want me to invite them to my church? Where you are now trying to pray that you are saying the systems of Egypt in my life, that, and there's an Egyptian that is our story, that is our history. And you are saying now the universality of Jesus Christ right now, he has come and say he has married all the Gentiles. So why have you not stopped some sentimental preaching and sentimental talks in your own charismatic preaching? And when you raise all these things, they say you don't know how the system of Babylon works, system of Egypt. And this is where I had issue even in my own cathedral, my church. I started telling them that these prayers are not right. When you start saying that let your Pharaoh, whatever, even the historical concept of Pharaoh, it was one Pharaoh that had accepted all the people of Israel and was very good to them. Pharaoh is just a title. So if you have problem with other people, why the ones that are close to you, why can't you open your mouth and say every Shango and let us see what will happen in your society? Let us see whether you're not going against against the law. Why are you going against people's culture? And the universality, you are even caught in the web of your own supposed preaching and love. So I found Catholic. I was not surprised. I found Catholic in Egypt. Catholic, Orthodox Church, Catholic was lit. As matter of the Christians, they were practicing Catholicism, So I started seeing one from a different perspective. So you cannot come and tell me right now that I'm not spiritually inclined. When I have friends that are Egyptians, fam, you are the one that are shallow. I am deep. So, and these are people that will now start telling you, hey, Babylon, the system, Baba, your own land, your own history, use and pray. You open your mouth and use Oshu. Talk to me, Oshu, Omi, Oshu, Tomashi. Talk to me, then make it drive. Make us see waiting goes up. Leave other people. Leave them far. Egypt far now. Leave them. Talk talk about grace prayer point. You don't go in my life. You know if you drown, you know fit. Why? So we must stop all this thing now. If I want to lead my friend, let us, which I don't even necessarily feel pressure. But if I want to, let's say I want to discuss about my religion, my faith with my friend as an Egyptian, do you really think they are interested to hear that they are the demon or whatever? Your own ancestors were enslaved by people that I'm living with. You are protecting them. Boom, we have bad enough. So these people you want me to see as bad people. You are being apologetic and defending the ones that are not that has not even happened for so long. The history is not so long ago. Not so long. You are defending them. Living in their country, protecting them, telling them enslavement is right, illegal, colonizing is not wrong. And you want me to come on, fam. Come off that nonsense. Just come off that nonsense. So my point right now is that the victim of religion is you embracing your ideology, changing your mentality, and try to now start seeing humanity. And someone said this on my last post, said, all this religion actually portray and preaches humanity. Yes. They preach humanity, embrace them. So, well, we have moved to the final part, and this is my last question. I hope Jekami will be able to join for this final. So, this is the conclusion. So, what gives you hope for the future of Nigeria? I know it's a very tough, but what gives you hope right now? Because we can't give up our country.
What gives me hope is we have so many resources, both natural resources, both human resources, and both let them say physical resources, like the energy. We still have it, whether we like it or not. Yes, we still have it. We are, like we said, we are scattered everywhere, we are littered everywhere, and we do stuffs everywhere. We do extraordinary things everywhere. So there is still hope. There is still a massive hope in the country, but we just need good leaders. That's what we just need. We need good leaders. We need people that first and foremost, you can't love another man's land and drive away your land. No, you get it. You can't love another man's land and drive away your land. Like you said, now you were saying your experience abroad. Now I would feel that you are enjoying yourself, and you will feel that maybe something is happening to me or something. But let me tell you, there's some people that are even enjoying themselves in Nigeria yet, and nothing is
Jekami French.
And nothing is happening. You understand? Nothing is going on. Nothing is happening. So just the thing is that let us cherish our land first and foremost. Let us know what we are doing in our land. I was watching a skit, not a comedy skit, but an interview. They said 100 million stay in Nigeria or travel out. Which one will you pick?
I will stay in Nigeria.
100 million stay in Nigeria or you travel out. You see, and everybody was saying 100 million stay in Nigeria, 100 million stay in Nigeria, 100 million stay in Nigeria because there are good things in Nigeria. Some things they happen for Nigeria. And I said, I can't stay abroad, but I will go to abroad. If I'm going to abroad, I'll just go there for the exposure and come back and see let me just go and see what they are doing abroad there that they're even calling abroad. Let me go and sit there and,
you can go and study. There's nothing bad. You can even have the pali, have second pali.
Yes, just see how they do things there so that you are going there for your own, stuff, not for another person's stuff, another person's agenda or something.
Well,
do you understand? So there's still big hope in our country, but we just need good drivers.
Thank you very much. Jekami, final question. What gives you hope for the future of Nigeria? You can't give up on our country now, at least. Ọmọ burúkú ó ṣe kíní kan kò ṣe fífẹ́ kó pa ọmọ burúkú ṣe ní bọ̀kọ́
ọmọ burúkú lè burú ká fífẹ́ kó pa jẹ.
Ká fífẹ́ kó pa jẹ.
Ṣé bí òwe fáwọn àgbà.
So Nigeria lè burú títí ká sọ pé kó jẹ́ kó Ọlọ́run jẹ́. So what gives you hope for the future of Nigeria?
Yes, the ones that are coming up, the children that we are giving birth to, those are the ones that give me hope in Nigeria. Because for my generation, honestly, when people say they should give the power to the youth, we are going to do worse. That is my personal opinion. We are going to do.
Jekami, believe in me. Putting back campaign with them.
No, see, and that is another thing. It's not about you alone. You're going to have people who are going to surround you.
Surround me, you will surround me.
So, like at the end of the day, me, I have hope in my child. I have hope in the children that I will born, and I have come to see my own responsibility as I have to make sure that they grow up to not make the same mistakes that I made, that the current leaders are making, that the people before me are making. So I'm just putting all my hope in them. All the experience I'm gaining now, everything I'm trying to build, the connections I'm trying to build, everything is just hoping that when they grow to age and I hand these opportunities to them, they can use it very well to better Nigeria. Because if we put hope in this Tinubu and the
Tipe,
rest of them, like
tipe.
and the experience I had in school as the president is also where that lack of hope in our current generation is not coming from. I feel like power is very
6%.
power is
Power
very powerful.
intoxicates. And absolute
Power,
power
power
intoxicates absolutely.
absolutely, because how much money are we seeing in that time that somebody is now misusing money? And this is somebody that, we campaigned as a team. We were like, okay, come, let's do this thing together. We went as a team and he saw money, small money. He changed. So now imagine that kind of person, becomes like local government
One of the
chairman where
things
you're
that shocked me,
controlling.
Jekami, one of the things that shocked me in school politics was this. When I went to ISS department and I spoke with a brother, they were from my faculty of arts. Abina, Baba, I go vote for me. They don't burn you. I don't go miss CRS. They don't burn you. If you try rubbish, those on a threat. I go to two sciences. My own faculty, I go threaten now.
My own people, my
I
own
go threaten
blood.
now. When I go meet this guy, you hear everything this guy talk. He says something, and that is my own living statement. And I will come wrap up with my hope. He said, Bradmeji, I won't lie to you. You are a better candidate than this guy. These are people that I bought clothes. I follow them go. They be Islamic people. I follow them go one of their party for wedding for Unilag because of politics. You don't know. I move Ankara, make people go to the my go. So he said, you're a better candidate. I like you more than him. I know so you go deliver more than him. But he's our brother. And for the sake of the religion, we'll vote for him. Forget one single vote for ISS. Mo padà lọ sí RS, mo lọ ṣépè fún wọn pẹ̀lú Bible. Tó bá bíire lórúkọ Olúwa, ẹ jẹ́ kí n rí one vote. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ rí wọn. Ọmọ, mo fẹ́ lè ṣépè fún wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n rí one single vote. Mi ò tó bá kọ́. Ẹ̀yin máa gé fún ẹ̀yin ni.
So there's and it's sad that we blame our parents for not doing the things they should have done, and now we are now falling into the same trap.
He accepted delivery and competence, and he said no, he's not going to go for delivery and competence. He's going to go for his sentiments.
He would rather go for religion.
God damn
so
it.
that is why I said I'm putting my hope in my children. So these things now, the moment he starts to get to age, I'm telling him, hey, this is what religion is. So religion is also a weapon. Education is also a weapon. This is how you use it. Because when we were growing up, I remember as a primary school, the people around me in Yanopaja, the ghetto of Yanopaja, the only thing we're hearing is, national. I knew about national cake from primary school, from primary 3. I knew about national cake. It's just that me, I'm just graced by God to just have a different perspective, to feel like we can always do things differently. This one is not working. Why is everybody now interested in this one? From primary 3, people were already saying, Jekami Omowe first, Lomangbe. So in tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ni pé tó bá ti wọ university, tó ṣe kíní kan national cake, okòwò Nigeria jẹ. And the children around me were saying, I'm a kowo Nigeria jẹ. Now, they are the same age as me. All these things that we are saying now, one of those people will become the president. One of those people will become the PA to the governor.
Recently, a tech guy hacked Yabatech and took over 50 million naira student school fees and Japa. He diverted the funds to enter a different account.
Exactly. So that is why we just have to put the hope in the children we are raising. And my wife always says something and says that the moment when you start from small, that is what all these terrorists do. They pick them from age 3, age 4. The moment they can babble.
Wait, I tell you now before, say anybody who is single, make you know they follow Jekami. Say una go dey pressure. Now your wife now, yeah. Continue. Your wife said what?
So she's like, anything when we want to train children, when we want to put our culture, we should put it in them from age 3, age 1 safe. Start telling them they are listening. So that is what I want to do. I just want to put all the hope I have for Nigeria, put it in my child, hoping that he might not become the president. Just hoping that, you know, when he gets into primary school, he starts to correct people from that level. When he gets to secondary school, he starts to correct people from that level, building with confidence that he needs, you know, to correct narratives about Nigeria. So that is what we can do. When we put the hope in ourselves, like many of us started knowing about the right things when we got into university. It was already late. 90% of Nigerians use Tigino. So the 10% that are not interested in leading, they want to lead these 90% to have the same issue. So now the new children that will now form the 100%, let us start the training. Let us stop examination malpractice. Let us stop buying results, special center. Let us stop buying results for them. Let us stop pampering them. Let us train them in the African way so that they can run Nigeria in the African way, coupled with the advancement in technology and everything, and things can just work. But for my generation, sorry, I've given up.
Oh, well, that's a very big statement I'm not going to make. I'm not giving up, and that's why I keep fighting. I actually believe that I have to pick up the ball and play. That's why I'm pushing to be a major player in my generation, and I will play my.
I mean, if you can become the governor, I'm ready to follow you. Yeah. I mean, like Dele Momodu followed MK Abiola and everything. I'm ready to follow you, but I'm just scared that the people we want to lead, if we don't change their orientation first,
it will
continue to have this problem.
It will happen. What you just said, it will happen. It's one thing I've known. It's been a repeated pattern in my life. It's a destiny. So it will happen, and I'm honored that you say you follow. But that being said, what I just believe is my own hope is the fact that I read the book Will Smith. Let me show you. And Will Smith taught me an important thing his father taught him, is that his father taught them about building a massive wall. So put him and his brother in charge of building that wall. So they were so first exhausted, or let me say, what's the word? They were first exhausted by
frustrated.
By the what they want to do. But the father now said, no, wait, wall is not hard. You just have to lay one brick. Even if just one brick you lay it deep, perfectly lay it, cement it, and leave it. So, which I understand that even the Great Wall of China started with laying a brick perfectly. Then brick by brick, if we look at it that way, then boom, we have a massive wall. So I just feel that I'm going to go into the theater of leadership. I'll play my parts very well. Posterity will remember me that I did my part, and with support of good people as well. Then afterwards, it's time for me to leave the dance for the coming generation. But that being said, you have a valid point, because the coming generation wants to hand the baton to. They must have a better orientation than this.
So they will not destroy whatever you build if you end up building the Nigeria we love.
So I believe that, and that is, everything is working, hand in glove. And like what Ogini Bernard also said, I also believe in that we should also do away with all this our ethnic sentiment and religious sentiment. That being said, thank you very much. Thank you to Ogini Bernard also. Thank you
very much, sir.
Adetiloye, and thank you to the madam that has been supporting, commenting. Big shout out to you, big shout out to everybody that joined. Osemu Diame. Big shout out to all my friends, and big shout out to all followers. Today's Street and Cathedral, we have completed the session. Next week is going to be an interesting topic. Next week is going to be our comeback. We had these two ladies that talked about the African men and romance. So next week we are talking about African women. Make we know what men say, think about women. You know, like say women, and then we say won't talk. So I'm bringing some two Egbons on board, and these Egbons, they are married, experienced. These are the Egbons we looked when we were wearing bandana and trying to form. When we are trying to form Jay-Z in street. So these Egbons will come and tell us about ladies, relationship, marriage, and all. Big shout out to you and thank you. Till we meet again, Jekami.
Thank you very much, sir.
regards to your beautiful son, your handsome son. Bye.
The hope. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.